pretty much knew him when he was just a little kid in middle school at Wayside, and really kind of grew up as my little brother. The boy was like greased lightning. He was pretty doggone fast. He did excel in track. He was putting up respectable numbers his junior year, and in football he was an excellent kickoff returner. Played in the secondary, had a lot of interceptions. He ran back for touchdowns, kickoffs, and punt returns for touchdowns. Just a real fast kid with a lot of heart. When he was running his senior year, the year he won state, he wasn't gaining much respect, and I think he kind of wore it on his shirt sleeve that, you know, he was going to prove to everybody that he could be the state champion. When he competed in the state, I pretty much thought he was an underdog when he went in there. The one thing that amazed me about him was that when we went down to Austin, and it was a big family deal, we all went down there, packed the Suburban up, you know, and went down there. And but he was so confident going down there that he was going to win this. I mean, he even told me, he goes, "No, these guys don't have nothing on me. These guys don't have nothing on me." And you know, and you start lining up against everybody in the state, and they're you know, they're pretty much faster than you sometimes, and you know, you just don't know what's going to happen, especially when the weather changes and you're running on a wet track down there in Austin and everything. And but he showed up that day. I mean, he went down there with the eye on the prize, and he wasn't going to be denied, and that I'll give him that. He decided that he was going to go the small school route, and he went to Stephen F. and he competed out there on a full track scholarship. Track, the speed stuff was his stuff. I mean, he had to run other events when he went to Stephen F. in order to keep his track scholarship. One of those was the steeplechase, and if I can say one bad thing about him, he really was terrible at the steeplechase and everything. But overall, he drove a real hard competitive spirit, and he probably would have broke a few records in high school if he didn't have such long hair. He had the mullet like nobody else had.
There's so many people that over the years that I've been affiliated with through primarily coaches. You know, they touch your lives as a young man, and you know, when you're young, you don't realize that, and years later, as you grow up, you realize the impact that those men had. Yeah, I'm the one being inducted, you know, for this, but there's so much more that goes into it, and it means so much to me. One, to have a coach, one of my own coaches, take the time and nominate me to be in, and but it means the world to me.
It's a really big honor to be inducted and to be recognized for my accomplishments during my 4 years at Boswell. My senior year was obviously the best, and it's just a really big deal to be recognized for that. I think playing sports is kind of, it's just who I was, and like I said, I was real determined and real driven to do my best in anything that I could do. And being on a team and being able to be a leader for those teams and just the camaraderie with my classmates and teammates, I think was really important to me. I will say that I do hold two school records still at Boswell in track and field. We have the mile relay record that was held in 1998, and then I have the triple jump record. So those are almost close to 20-year records that are still there. So that just is pretty awesome to know that I'm still hanging around Boswell on the walls. And I really think that the teammates that I have, the friendships that I've made, and the bond with my coaches, Michelle Wheeler and Coach Stepp, I think those are people that I will never forget.
Really, my freshman year is the one that I really feel like that I accomplished most, because after making the team, I was a pitcher, and we had 3 seniors that were pitchers. One played second, one played short, one played third. So I played when whoever pitched, second baseman pitched, I played second, so on and so forth, shortstop, third. And so I really enjoyed my freshman year. I think that I probably accomplished more. I believe that was probably my best year. Well, I guess in football was my junior year. It was we played South Grand Prairie in the bi-district game. I guess what made it memorable is because it was just so cold. I mean, it was freezing out. I think the wind chill was below 0, and we had face masks. We didn't have wire face masks back then. They were just plastic, and we had a bunch of face masks shattering because it was so cold. I don't know, it's just the atmosphere of the playoff game. And I guess my junior year as well, I had one game where I had 3 interceptions. I was pretty pumped about that. I remember running over to Coach Adams on the sidelines, giving him it wasn't a head bump, it was a helmet bump. And I think he ended up having a scar from it.
Well, I played cornerback on defense and football, and then special teams and all that. And then on offense, I was they called me a blocking wide receiver because I couldn't catch the ball real well. But and then played basketball. We struggled a little bit on the court my senior year, but we had a good time. I had a great coach, Coach Kraft. Track was just a incredible sport for me to run and be a part of a mile relay team that we qualified for regionals. And what was really neat, we set the school record my senior year, and then 30 years later, I was a timer at Boswell High School and watched that record be broke, and that was neat. My track coach was, head coach was Coach Villar, and then Coach Wilson kind of managed the sprinters and the relay guys. So played baseball, pitched, and for the baseball team. We had a great baseball team. We went to the, I guess, Final 8 in the state and got beat out by Mount Pleasant. And if we'd have won that, if we'd have beat Mount Pleasant, we would have went to the state tournament. And then Mount Pleasant goes on and wins the state championship that year. But sports in general at Boswell High School for me was just invaluable. Maybe I didn't think it was at the time, but as you grow up and you learn the character traits that you're taught as an athlete at Boswell High School, and that's what means so much to me today, and I'm so thankful for that.
I'd turned playing basketball is my sophomore year before I moved up to varsity. And for some reason, Coach Adams fell in love with me. I was on the court 90, 100, sometimes 100% of the time, and I'd have to wave and ask him to take me off. But this particular game, I turned the ball over 3 times within about 6 seconds. Threw the ball in, took it, and the guy stole it and made 2 points. They throw the ball to me again. The guy stole it, made 2 points. So I said, well, I'll just throw this one in. So I threw a fastball to one of my teammates, I believe it was Chuck Bogus, at about half court, about at his feet. And it went out of bounds. Of course, they get the ball, and he replaces me, and I didn't go back in the rest of the game. And he talked to me after the game. He said, son, I don't mind you making mistakes. He said, that's how you learn. He said, but don't let that mistake cause you to make multiple mistakes after that. And he said, that's the reason I took you out and didn't put you back in. He said, so I use that even today. You learn from your mistakes, and you go on. That's the way life is. You're going to make them. And you just learn from them, go on, but don't let that one mistake cause 2 or 3 right after that. So
probably one of the biggest things that I've learned since high school, didn't know it at the time, but against Gainesville, it was 28-28. The clock had expired. They had the ball. They ran one more play. They were tackled on the 22-yard line. If they penetrate to the 20, we lose. And being a part of that tackle was, at the time it didn't mean anything, but once you look back on that and understand what was really going on, it does mean something. And the times that in football, playing against Brownwood, getting beat by Brownwood, it wasn't at the time something I was proud of, but so much came out of that game. I realized how close we were as a team at the end of that game and how much we all cared for each other. Baseball was phenomenal. We had two primary pitchers, myself and Danny Henson. And, if Danny pitched one game, I pitched the other. And we just went back and forth all year. And we were able to go really deep into the playoffs. And
high school, 1999. It was pretty awesome. We were really good athletically. We had a lot going on. The senior year, really wanted to just do the best we could in District 8 4A basketball. We were the ones to beat. We were good and we knew it, which was pretty awesome. I would think track-wise, that was my year to get to state, and I actually did it. So I think all the times that I'd worked for it, freshman all the way up to my senior year, it was just actually meeting that goal that I had set way back when. And being able to reach that was something that I was very proud of.